Are the Georgia Bulldogs the Kansas City Chiefs of college football? Another one bites the dust. Wide receiver Nitro Tuggle, great name for this arrest, was charged for reckless driving. Great name to have for speeding. I mean, fuck, you got to speed. You got to almost be a drag racer with the name Nitro. He ran his car into a fucking apartment building. And Nitro Tuggle and Marcus Easley have both been suspended indefinitely per the school release. Kirby Smart, man, just continues to have issue after issue, and I don't blame him at all in this. I blame the NIL, and it's not just Georgia. We're seeing it all over, but Georgia just seems to have a few more than everyone else. What's your take on this one? Another one.
Did you see the picture?
No.
The car is all. Oh my god! So, you know how you have those time. You know you have those like. It's not like one of those inner city apartments where you go in the door downstairs and got to get in the elevator. Like it's one of those like Southern or California apartments where everybody got like 2 parking spots in front of it. It's a sidewalk, dude. They are all the way in the apartment with the car. It's just ridiculous.
How much do you hold?
Check them out. Oh, God. Come on, man. Come on, dog.
Is he driving an Uber? Is he driving an Uber and just wanted to pick him up right at the door?
Oh, that's drunk as a skunk, man. You get home and think you in park and you in drive and he all the way in the front door. Like, what the hell is in the air in Athens? Every athlete-related issue there, it has to do with drinking, driving, and going above the speed limit. Every one of them.
Hey, and notice the car, by the way. What is it?
That's your favorite car.
Ain't a fucking Prius.
Yeah.
These kids can't drive these cars, man. They don't know how to drive these cars, homie. I'm so fucking tired of why no one believes me when I'm telling you these kids can't even check. Coach Martin just said his son didn't even know how to change the fucking tire. He had to go out there in the parking lot, and we're giving these kids Hellcats and Challengers and thinking that they can drive it. I've been saying this for fucking 5 years, but nobody listens to me. How much accountability lies on Kirby Smart? Let's start there.
Zero.
I
mean, I'm sure if administration comes down, Kirby has checked off every possible teaching tool that he can find to educate, identify, and make aware his current players of what has happened to some of their peers and to some of the guys that have preceded them. I am sure they've had all kind of presentations and meetings as a team, as offense, defense, in individual meetings, because this has been a systematic issue. I'm sure he's brought people in to talk. I'm sure the local police department has come in. At some point, these guys leave the building. And then you just got to hope that what you gave them has sunk into the point where they actually follow it. And unlike JB, when me and you were coaching, because of the NIL now, very few guys are living on campus. Because they got a lot, they got enough money now to not only go off campus, but go off campus in some nicer places and just pay the difference.
You and I grew up where freshmen had to stay on campus. You couldn't live outside of a dorm. Nowadays, the freshmen are getting these high rises and shit. We're seeing the kid Bear from Georgia goes to SC. They put him right on Wilshire Boulevard. I mean, in the middle. It's just a different world. Coach Martin mentioned this. Do you think this is a problem Kirby Smart's facing? Is he facing the more resourceful institution in Georgia at a smaller place like UMass, and Coach Martin is facing where he can't be himself and coach hard? Coach Martin said he failed this year for the first time of his coaching career because he wasn't himself, because he's worried about kids leaving when he motherfucks them. Do you think that's happening in Georgia?
No. I mean, what? So Jalen Carter was he defensive MVP this year?
I believe.
Can you fact check that, Bailey? Please, or Paris?
I believe he was defensive player of the year.
And here's he was what, in the draft 2 years ago? his teammates
after the car wreck. Yep.
His teammates didn't see him fall from, well, first of all, take a life in the same city, under most likely the same circumstances. They didn't see him fall from being what should have been the number 1 pick in the draft to out of the top 10 because of that incident. Like, at some point, it's just on the players. What Kirby gonna do? Take the keys?
Didn't Myles Garrett win it? Oh no, Patrick Surtain won it.
That's right, Patrick Surtain. That's what he. Yep. Well, he was in the top 3. With my point being, he went to Georgia, actually ended up taking a life in a situation very similar. So it's not like these guys aren't aware of the issues that are plaguing Georgia. I mean, what else can Kirby do? He can't take their keys. He can't tell them don't buy this specific car. Like, there are certain limitations to, I mean, he can kick them off. But what does that do? They're just going to transfer somewhere else.
Yeah, I saw a story, and it's running away from my brain. I forgot who it was, but somebody, I think at the professional level, just banned cell phones during meetings. I don't know, Bailey, if you saw that or somebody saw that. If somebody could tell me who it was. I don't know if it was basketball or football. Somebody banned.
So let me speak on that, JB, just right quick. All you do is set yourself up to be put in a hell of a predicament because one of your best players is going to forget he's got his damn cell phone in his pocket and that mofo going to ring. And you're going to have chewed out 2 of the kids.
Oh, it was Ron Washington. Ron Washington for the Angels. That's right. Former Texas Rangers head coach.
You just set yourself up for failure when you do that.
Let me ask you, at the professional level, though, I believe you can do it a little bit different than college because at the professional level, at least you can hold over a fine. Because I remember walking in the first meeting ever as an undrafted kid and being in an OTA with the Chiefs, and Dick Vermeil had a PowerPoint and said, no phones. If one goes off in the meeting, it's a $500 fine. If you're late, it's a fine. It's a blah, blah, blah. There was a list of fines for what you did. And then there was 300 slides. You could see the number on a PowerPoint, how many slides. And I never forget this because I used to do it. And then they skipped all the way through the 300 slides. There was nothing on those slides. They were blank. And then the last thing said, do right. The very last slide said, do right. And it was a 5-minute meeting. Everybody thought it was this 5-hour meeting. And he said, everybody get the fuck out. And that was that set it resonated with you, right? Like, fucking skip all that shit. Do right. That's it. At the end of the day, you're a grown man. You know the difference between right and wrong. Do right.
So what if I gave you this proposal? Since you little cockroaches want to be pro athletes and will make money, then guess what? Let's put in the pro system. If your ass ain't in class, that's $500. If you late to practice, that's $1,500. If you got conduct detrimental to the team, that's $2,500.
I don't know why. I don't know why you don't do it. We talked about this a while back. Why aren't you finding these players that are getting paid? They don't go to class. Like, right. Why aren't you paying? Why aren't you? If they're going to miss a game, and I had a whole video go crazy this year when I went off about, it ain't the same. You're paid now. You don't have you're clocking in and clocking out just as your mommy and daddy've done.
Right.
So your ass don't deserve. You can't miss no practice, no games. This is professional now, man. It's a great point. I'm just saying, I don't want to hear no bullshit excuses anymore. But let me ask you this: can Kirby, for instance, and the only reason I brought the cell phone thing up was because you know where I was headed. Can he ban the car, or the car type,
No, because I would imagine that. What is that? Dodge.
Yep.
I would imagine on some level they're a major supporter of Georgia athletics in some way, shape, form, or fashion.
So one of these, every school has one of these car manufacturers right now. Right.
So you couldn't justify telling the student athlete they can't purchase that vehicle. I'm sure that wouldn't go over well in Athens, because more than likely the same guy that owns Dodge Charger owns a couple other different brands as well.
Yeah,
like Finley in Vegas owns Toyota, Nissan, a whole bunch of different, brands.
Hey, is it true Vegas is a ghost town lately?
Why wouldn't it be?
Because I mean, I heard it was the lowest, Super Bowl attended Vegas ever. Nobody was
when
there.
last time you been to Vegas?
6 months or so.
Man, price is high as giraffe pussy, man. They charge you for everything. $25 to park, well, $50 a night to park.
Hey, my buddy's there right now. My buddy's right there right now. They got the motherfucking suite that was on The Hangover for $90.
$90.
I'm just kidding about that suite, but they got a suite at the where they at? MGM or something. They got a hell of a room for like $98.
Vegas went from a mom and pop town. You know the engagement you get when you go in a mom and pop restaurant. You know everybody. You say hello. They sit down. They talk to you. So now it's a corporate town, and everything's about trying to squeeze every penny out of people. And what's happened was a whole cycle of people have come, and they fed up with it. So either the corporations are going to get the message and stop nitpicking people. Like if I'm playing $100 a hand, or if I'm playing $5 a hand of blackjack, what the hell you mean? If I go to a show with Tito's and soda, it cost me $35. I had a picture. Let me see if I could find it. Man, Harrah's had a pizza special. It was 2 slices of pizza and a Coke. And this is honest to God, JB. The price was like $43.
All right. It's everywhere.
For 2 slices of pizza and a soda.
Hey, dog. The first time ever was yesterday. I noticed, at least where I'm at in Cali, I finally got to see a 3 on the goddamn gas pump. $3.99. $3.99 at like an AM PM. $3.99. Gas prices finally got into the 3s, and motherfuckers are celebrating like it's the 4th of July out here. Come on, man. I mean, this is just it's crazy. Take a look at this video. Kirby Smart saying,
long way from good. We are a work in progress. We have the least number of players who have gone through 3 spring practices since I've been here. So that should tell you something. I asked the guys to stand up who have practiced at least 3 spring practices. So this obviously would make their 4th, and there was basically nobody standing. We have a very young, inexperienced group. We really can't practice to our standard because they're all tired. So like we go to practice and it's like great energy, great in shorts, guys learn what to do, and then we start going and it's like they can't go. We have to coach it. I mean, that's what they get. That's what they pay us to do, to coach them. They have to be willing to receive coaching. And on the whole, my whole preach after the practice was we got a lot of guys that put their hands up. They're offended when you coach them. I'm not talking about the freshmen. I'm talking about in general. So we had.
He said they're offended when you coach them. I'm not talking about freshmen. I'm talking about in general. Shaun, he ain't lying.
Kirby sounds like a guy that won't be in the won't be in college football much longer.
Oh, I agree. He's following Saban's footsteps. And it's just like Coach K and all these legendary guys. Coach Martin's talking about how to figure this thing out because he said he just failed as a coach his first year ever because he deviated from who he is. And then he said it. And we talk all the time, Frank and I. This is why I ain't coaching, Shaun. This is probably why you're not coaching. Like, let's be honest. Like, Noel Mazzoni's not coaching right now for one reason and one reason only. Let's just be real. We can't be ourselves. And then we got to figure out a new Noel Mazzoni, a new JB, a new Shaun King. And then is that really the guy that you want coaching your kid? A fake coach? And
I was going to say, JB, what really sucks about hearing Kirby right there, that is one of the absolute most elite places that you could send a talented young man to go and turn into a super productive elite football player. The way Georgia under Kirby Smart identifies talent, gets it bigger, faster, stronger, teaches it the fundamentals of the game, teaches it how to play the game. I mean, they had usurped Alabama as the premier program in America. And to hear that even at that level, you still dealing with the same entitlement and inability to understand that diamonds are forged through fire, right? It sucks because now you're just going to get a kid that's not as developed, that's just talented. And again, I don't think Kirby Smart going to be in football much longer. I want to